in the Smart Kitchen with Chef Thomas Stewart. Nice to have you guys in.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Gianni's, of course, the famous restaurant at the Versace Mansion.
Yes.
And then, of course, you have the Onyx Bar that is adjacent just to the left side. Kind of walk us through the whole experience of what you guys have there.
Well, part of the fun of my job is when I walk out into the courtyard, I normally see this, and that's one of the things that I love.
Right.
As soon as you walk in, it's a little small corridor, and then it just opens up, and you have open air, and then you see what was actually built in 1929, but basically revamped by Mr. Versace himself. He just turned it into a building that's stunning, beautiful, and opulent.
What are the kind of the hot zones of your restaurant where people like to hang?
Well, I think everybody wants to be by the pool, and if you've seen it before, everybody wants to see it. It's a hot ticket, and people will actually wait longer to sit outside than they will in the dining room.
Interesting. And talk to me a little bit about the development of that menu itself.
Well, we started out in intensive research for years before we even opened it to see what Gianni Versace himself ate. We came up with a lot of things through research, and you know, it's developed into a Italian Central and Mediterranean flavors. You know,
right.
Very light, not a lot of cream, not a lot of butter, homemade pasta, fish.
The local sourcing is just really built into the DNA of the business itself. Do you find that guests and consumers now are coming in and expecting that kind of product?
Oh, without a doubt. And not only that, guests and consumers are now highly educated on food. Not like years ago, they didn't know the difference between a couple of sauces. They know usually as much as the chef. Now, can they cook as good as the chef? Not necessarily, but they know as much as he is, and they will be glad to point you out on that, you know?
All right, so here in the kitchen today, we're actually going to be breaking down Alaska halibut. Frozen fresh and air-shipped to us from Alaska. When you look at Alaska halibut, what are some of the characteristics that you like in that fish?
Well, number one, you know, we always want to look for freshness, but the main reason I look for is sustainable seafood, because we have to leave something for the next generation, you know?
Right.
Not only just farmers, but the community and economic systems in other places as well.
Some other things, obviously, are the versatility of it,
right.
Which is great for chefs that maybe aren't as super experienced around cooking great, you know, seafood dishes. Halibut's one of those things that a lot of chefs can really, you know, embrace and do a lot of unique versatility with.
It has a very nice, sweet, mild flavor. A lot of people will overcook it. But today I'll show you how not to overcook it.
Good, good. Let's get to it, Chef.
Yes, sir. All right, so first what I want to do is I'm just going to cut down through my tail. Take the tail off. And then what I want to do is I'm going to take my finger, and you can almost see it here. Right here is the bone that's going to separate it. So,
so that's a deep fillet then?
That is a deep fillet. And you know, just like any fish, the closer you get up to the rib cage, the sweeter the meat's gonna be.
Right, right.
And as I take my knife, I'm gonna kind of gently pull it with my hand.
Well, the halibut, you get about 50% yield too, which is really valuable, especially in a restaurant business.
And now I'm gonna turn it around.
Okay.
So we can do the other side.
This is where the perfect sharp chef knife comes into play.
It is.
Very cool. All right.
We could use our bones here to make a nice fumet and a nice stock. We're going to use this side in our crudo because it's a little bit sweeter, and you know, it's one of the first muscles the fish start using.
Kind of break down what we're going to be doing today.
Today we're going to kind of do a cold soup, if you will, but like we were speaking about earlier about halibut, it can take on a lot of flavors. So what we're going to do is actually make a nice little pungent sauce for crudo that'll be poured over it table side, and then when you start to bite into the crudo, you'll get the sauce, the fish, and the nice coldness of the sauce, which is great for places like Miami in the summer, quite refreshing. And what I have here is a little turmeric, garlic, olive oil. I'm gonna add my garlic, my turmeric.
Perfect.
What I'm gonna do is I just have a diced up mango here, just one mango I'm gonna add to it. And I'm actually just gonna let that caramelize for a minute. And as I do that, I'll just let it sit. I'm gonna add my lemongrass. Lemongrass is nice to steep in there, but you really can't eat it. It's not digestible.
Right.
Just like a bay leaf, but you can always steep it like a tea. What I'm gonna use now is just the coconut milk. I'm gonna pour it right in there. And you see that beautiful color being given off by the turmeric. And then what I'm gonna do is add a little bit more turmeric powder.
All right. So you're really jazzing it up with the turmeric.
Yeah, I really going for the color because I want offsetting colors. You know, it's all about colors for me. I'm gonna add a little bit just of regular curry powder.
Gotcha.
Just a little bit of black pepper. Then I'm gonna grab my sunchokes from the oven. They've roasted for like 20 minutes.
Bring those right in.
Bring those right in. So as I do that, I'm gonna let all that good olive oil go in there.
Perfect.
As we spoke about earlier, we're gonna use the belly part of it, which I think is a beautiful piece.
Gorgeous fillet, yeah.
I wanna take that and lay that there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna chop it up really fine like I was.
All right, so Chef, how common is it for halibut to be in a crudo like this?
It's not really that common, but I've seen it this year as far as coming out in different shows and things, and I wanted to try it. And as I tried it, my idea was to come up with a nice sauce that you poured with it that the halibut could pick up the flavor.
Right.
And as our sauce right there is, you know, still boiling, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna take it and I'm gonna chill it.
Okay.
But before I do that, what I'm gonna do is make sure I get my fish ready. So what I'm gonna do is add a little bit of parsley.
Gotcha.
And then what I have here is lemon zest, orange zest, a little bit of yuzu juice and orange juice.
Perfect.
I'm gonna add that to it. Fresh black pepper, always fresh black. A little sea salt. You know, just give it a nice little mix. So today I brought a little infused oils, a little chili oil and a little basil oil. I'm just gonna add a little, and now I'm gonna mix that in.
Okay.
And it's gonna give us a little punch at the end.
Right.
Right in the back of the taste buds. I think our soup is ready, so we're gonna go ahead and turn it off, put it in the fridge, and I'm gonna show you guys how to plate.
Perfect.
So it's a very simple plating strategy here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my halibut I cut up, right in the center of my ring. So as I put that in there, I wanna pack it down really tight.
Okay.
And my natural juices is gonna come out, which is fine. This is fine, it's kind of what we want.
So now we're introducing some texture into that.
Exactly, a little dehydrated seaweed, a little radish, put that right on top.
Beautiful.
So now I'm just gonna pour a couple ounces in it right there.
Nice color.
And then, you know, just a little color differential.
So speed-wise, when you have a dish like this, this would be a really great lunch dish, I would think, with your new lunch menu.
Yeah, it's actually gonna be on it.
Oh, okay. You're introducing this into your menu?
Yeah.
I love it.
I will be.
Pop in some
some
oils.
brightness, color, some
Beautiful.
basil oil.
I
There
like
it
it.
is.
Beautiful. This is a really gorgeous dish. Nice
And
job.
it's really, I imagined it as it being like the first day of spring, because I know we're going to spring early, and this is something. And not only that, you got health benefits of having whitefish, the omega-3s, but you also have the turmeric and the curry, which are great for antioxidants, inflammation. I have a lot of inflammation because I'm on my legs like you guys are a lot, so sometimes I'll just take a shot of turmeric.
There you
a
go.
little coconut milk. And then you can just
bring in
get
the
you a
soup.
spoonful of everything.
All right. A lot of flair, too.
Thank you.
This is great. All right, Chef, so we're going into our second dish here. What have you got in store for us?
What we're gonna do is a real umami dish, right? Because basically we have three roots. We have turmeric, we have sunchoke, we have beets. It's just gonna be a nice, simple, quick sear halibut, and this is where I get to show you where it doesn't dry out. And I actually get to answer one of my favorite questions I get all the time. How do you cook fish without it sticking? And I'm gonna show you step by step.
Good.
It's a lot easier than people think it is, but a lot of people don't have the patience for it. So as we let our pan heat up, now that's the key, the pan, you literally want to see smoke coming off of it before we even put the fish in there, or the oil.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is make sure I distribute my oil evenly.
Got it.
I'm actually going to take it off the fire. I know this scares a lot of people, but there's no reason to be scared. So they'll put it in there.
Perfect.
Now, I'm going to touch it a little bit, make sure I get it down. And as that does that, and this is one of the ways you can stop from drying out a halibut. I'm gonna add my butter. It looks like a lot, but not all of it's gonna be used. So I know I got a nice brown color on my fish. So as I do that, I'm gonna need to step in. So
Perfect.
So I'm gonna turn it off now, and then
Okay.
I need to clean here, and then we can plate. Well, one of the things you really like about a whitefish is you can contrast colors. Like I'm gonna use a black paint with a little white. But before I even start plating my fish, what I'm gonna do is a little, now this is however you wanna do it. There's no rules here. There's no rule book. What I'm gonna do is take a little bit of our sunchoke puree.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna take my beet foam just as it is. It's a little bit watery, but it's fine. But
beautiful.
Just a little bit more, you know. Like I said, there's no rules here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take our fish. See how I barely cooked it on one side?
Yep.
We'll go here. Got a little bit of just pickled turmeric with hibiscus, and we'll put that right in the middle.
Got it.
Put that guy on him like that. Crispy seaweed from the last dish, because it's always about, you know, cross-utilization. What we did earlier is we took the kombu and the beets, we took out the kombu, and we just blended the beets with the juice, and I added the soy lecithin, which you can find in any store, and now we're gonna actually foam it. Now the more movement, obviously the more bubbles you were getting. That's what a foam basically is our bubbles. You can do it hot or cold. I choose to do it cold because, you know, it's not gonna affect anything, but when we get it like that, see how nice and airy that is?
Got it. So just add that in. Perfect.
Just put a little bit here. And there you have it.
When you look at developing menu items like this, what do you start with? Because that's a palette that looks like, you know, a Mona Lisa. I mean, it's just got a lot going on in it.
Well, to be quite honest with you, mine's more simple. I start with the canvas and I work my way backwards, and then I put the paint on it, you know what I mean?
Beautiful. So I like the way that this came together, so the fish is perfectly cooked. Nice trick on the preparation. Wow. Really, it's just the amount of time that you get it on the high heat to bring that crispiness on the halibut. Gives the, you know, sears the fish all the way through without sticking, but best of all, it's super moist.
It is.
Yeah, it's perfectly cooked, so great job. Well, Chef, first I want to thank you so much for stopping in on the kitchen today. This has been a great time. Learning a lot about Alaska halibut, how to use it in the restaurant environment, especially like a place like Gianni's, where you guys are going to introduce this into your specials on your menu, so that's kind of cool. And the fact that we've got a chance to really see kind of the diversity of the fish and how it can be used in a lot of different ways. So great crudo and a great dish here with this amazing plating. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.